Welcome back to Crypto Meets EI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. If 124 million XRP is for the smallest ETF out there, imagine when big players like Blackrock join the game. Supply shock is inevitable. On-chain settlement at a global scale is now live. Wirex app is selling Visa payments in USDC and Euro C on Stellar, now serving 7 million plus users. 24/7 stablecoin settlement, lower fees, faster processing, no legacy banking rails, no middlemen. I want you guys to understand, the closer we get to the implementation of ISO 20022, the more strange things will happen. Blackouts, cyber attacks, they need an excuse to justify the new financial system. Be ready. It's all planned, my friends. XRP. In an interview with CoinDesk, Charles Hoskins predicts 250,000 Bitcoin by end of year 2026. Cardano founder says he thinks we'll close out 2026 with a $250,000 Bitcoin and a very healthy and vibrant ecosystem.
That sentiment to shift given everything we've discussed.
I think the biggest issue with retail sentiment is that everybody entered, myself included, 2025 thinking that the Trump administration was going to be this magic net positive for the ecosystem, because he's literally, the U.S. government has become a bag holder. You know, it's like that's the biggest economy in the world, and it's gone from trying to kill crypto to embracing crypto. But sometimes by having the big guy hug you, they hug too hard and they love too much, and it kind of crushes your ribs, kind of like Lum from Goonies. So what we're having to contend with is the U.S. government, in a very hand-fisted way, has been, in some cases, a little unhelpful to the industry. So it created an irrational exuberance, and it interfered with our normal 4-year cycle that we have, and we're trying to sort all that stuff out. But we've gotten used to it now, and we've gotten used to the new normal, and I think Clarity Act will pass in Q1, and then we'll get back to that normal bull market that we have. The other side of it is that there was just so much catastrophic damage done to retail in 2021 that a lot of people wrote crypto off. And it was just like the internet with the dot-com boom and bust. It took about a good 5 to 6 years for people to start really taking the internet serious again as an investment. And so we're just now at that inflection point, and because things got political, it stopped that natural progression, and some people kept their dry powder in. But eventually people are going to come back in, and you see it with privacy coins, not because they love crypto, but because they realize that the dollar is on life support.
Yeah.
It's a 37 trillion national debt. Global debt is $318 trillion, and it can never be repaid. There's no intention to ever even repay it. And you have a situation where inflation is getting very bad and very pervasive for people. And every day people are asking simple questions. Why is there less and less food in my shopping cart? Why is it harder and harder to pay for my mortgage? They're talking about 50-year mortgages now, you know? And so when they see that type of stuff, they say, I want sound money. There's really only one option for sound money. It's the cryptocurrency space. So they'll gradually work their way there. And now that institutions are embracing it, it's easier now than ever for people to come on in. It's just, unfortunately, you know, it's just been challenging this year, given the high politicization and the tariffs and some unrealistic expectations and some botched false starts. But, you know, it only slows the Giga Chad bull run down. It doesn't stop it. So I think 2026 is going to be an incredible year. Privacy is going to be the one that kind of launches it and brings back retail. And then all the other guys are going to get a halo effect from it. And we're going to see a big lift in the industry as a whole. And I think we'll close out 2026 with $250,000 Bitcoin and a very healthy and vibrant ecosystem.
He is absolutely right. The 4-year cycle has been completely disrupted. I honestly believe we will never repeat the same old 4-year cycles that we've had in the past. As ETH tried to play catch up to the XRPL, Ethereum just unveiled Kohaku, a modular privacy framework that finally brings opt-in privacy to ETH wallets and maybe ZK-enabled browsers. Great move for Ethereum, but let's be honest. This is ETH playing catch up to a direction XRPL has already executed. The XRPL privacy layer isn't a concept. It's already being built through DNA protocol. With full ZK computation network, ZK verification layer, encrypted identity vaults, and zero-knowledge proofs tied directly into the ledger state. Ethereum is adding privacy as an upgrade. XRPL is integrating privacy as an identity and computation architecture, money settlement plus verifiable privacy anchored into the ledger itself. ETH is trying to retrofit ZK to a system never designed for it. XRPL is moving toward a future where identity, computation, and settlement are all ZK verified without exposing any raw data. Kohaku is a good step. DNA protocol is the entire staircase. XRP leads, Ethereum follows. And while the market is crashing and there's widespread panic in the crypto market, Citi CEO Jane Fraser says a client wants to move money around the world instantaneously, 24/7, 365 days, safely and without hassles or complexity. That's tokenization.
Tell us why you're so excited about tokenized deposits and why maybe that is a better solution than stablecoin.
Yeah, on the payment space. Look, it comes back to what does a client need? So a client wants to move money around the world instantaneously, 24/7, 365 days a year, safely and without hassle and complexity. And that's what tokenization does. Tokenization digitizes entire markets. And we've been working in really making sure that we can serve that use case from the clients. We've been adding new markets for being able to move money instantaneously 24/7. We've been so we just announced that we're adding another currency on. We're adding euro on today, in addition to dollar and sterling and Hong Kong and Sing dollar. We've got 24/7 clearing attached to our digital token services capability. That's added 270 banks that we can move money. So it's not just within the Citi system, but it's also to other banks that we can move instantaneously 24/7. Without complexity. So I'm really excited about the movement that you can see in payments. I think tokenization best serves the client's use case.
Like I've said, my friends, tokenization is the key to everything. They will be tokenizing every little thing they possibly can. If the narrative of the island continues and Satoshi's wallets move, we will see the largest capital rotation in history, from Bitcoin to XRP. It is no coincidence they are doing all this now, when the financial system is about to be updated. Isn't it incredible how it always circles back to gold? The monetary system, everything, the IMF, the World Bank, the BIS, the World Gold Council are all outlining frameworks where gold acts as the underlying collateral and neutral bridge assets like XRP operate as a settlement layer above it.
I think by the time we see the next real crisis, though, the IMF and the central banks of the world and the BIS are already kind of telegraphing that gold's going to be part of a new system, whatever that system is. However disorderly or orderly it is, it's probably in the form of a central bank digital currency of some form. The IMF literally has a graph of it on their Bretton Woods 2.0 page on their website, and at the base of that graph is physical gold. Because even for something as awful as central bank digital currency to have any validity, they know now in this new crisis to come, which they helped create, and they blamed on COVID, they know now for that central bank digital currency beast to have any credibility as an efficient settlement policy, it has to be backed by a hard asset. And they put gold as the hard asset there. And that's why the BS and everyone else, BIS is making gold a tier 1 asset. They're programming us serfs for the moment when centralized currencies are coming in, and they're going to back that in some coverage ratio with physical gold. I'm quite convinced of that.
And last up, the ETF dip. Is this the setup? Everyone is freaking out about the XRP slump. They must need a history lesson. This is exactly what happened to Bitcoin when their ETFs first launched. Spot BTC ETF launched at 46K. Price nuked to 38.9K in 12 days, a 20% flush. Retail panicked. ETFs accumulated the bottom. Then BTC exploded to 73K. Textbook ETF launch behavior. Big money never buys the top. They engineer a shakeout, load the dip, then send charts vertical. XRP just ran hard into ETF headlines. Leverage stacked, retail FOMO'd, market was overpositioned. So what happens? The same thing that happens every cycle. Launch, dump 15 to 20%. Weak hands get flushed out. Issuers accumulate quietly. 1 to 3 months later, a violent reversal. If history repeats, and it usually does, we're in the loading zone, not the danger zone. This dip is the beginning of the real move. Stay calm, stay focused. This is how institutions take supply before liftoff. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.